Hi sir, myself Jay Kishore and I am here to explain about the task 2.0, which is nothing but ARM MCU programming. So these are my three codes. This is my GPO decon.h and this is my GPO decon.cpp. Now I shall explain you about my sketch of .ino. This is my main Arduino program called Sketch, and the purpose of this program is to test my custom GPIO functions. First I include GPIO decon.h, and this allows my main program to access the three GPIO functions that I created. Here is my LED port, which I've given as port A, and this is my LED pin I've given as 17. And as you can see, I've given the void setup, which is nothing but the setup function, which runs only when the Arduino board is on. And here I've got right GPIO both sides, and the first one was used as high state, which is nothing but the turn on LED. Second one is used as low state, which is nothing but the LED turn off. Next I shall explain you about the GPIO decon.cpp. I've included the GPIO decon.h file can used for definition and function declaration. So here you can see config GPIO, the first function. The purpose for this function is to configure a GPIO pin as input or output. First it checks whether the pin number is valid or not, then it creates a bit mask for selected pin. If it belongs to port A, it uses group 0. If it belongs to port B, it uses group 1. As you can see, here are group 0 and group 1. Next, I shall explain you the second function, which is nothing but the write GPIO. The second function. This function is used to set a GPIO pin to high or low. As I've shown you, here is the low state and the high state, and the high state is for on and the low state is for off. As I said, if the high state is used, it uses outset. If the low state is used, it is used as out clear. Next, I shall explain you about read GPIO, the third function. This function reads the current state of GPIO pin and checks the in register and returns either high or low depending on the current value. So this is my GPIO decon.cpp. Next, I shall explain you about the GPIO decon.h. So this is my header file, and the main purpose of this task is to define GPIO settings and declare the function prototype that will be implemented in the source file. First, the main things I've used is if and def, define and endif. So basically these are called as header guards, and the main purpose of these are to prevent this header file from being included multiple times during compilation. Next, I've used Arduino.h, which is used to provide basic Arduino definitions, and I have used SAM.h, which is very important because it provides access to the SAMD21 microcontroller definitions. Next, we have two types of mode, input and output, and here we got port A and port B. These definitions allow my function to identify which pin belongs to which one. We have low state and high state. Nothing but the low state is false and the high state is true. And at last we have these GPIO configurations, write and read, which are used for specific operations. Now I shall run these. The compiling is completed. So as you can see, this is my INO code, this is my decon.h and this is my .cpp. First I shall compile it. Yeah, compiling is done. Now I shall insert my thing with this. Wait a minute. Yeah, as you can see, it starts blinking. And now if I keep this here for your convenience, I shall keep it in this way. Yeah, and if I give upload, as you can see, it will start blinking like this, and we will get some information about it here, as you can see. Yeah, thank you.